Well, hello. Um, I wasn't going to make a video at all tonight because I'm too damn tired to make videos. But I came across something this afternoon that demands a response. This was an article posted on a so-called liberal website and the DECO's website. And this poster titled his diary, "When Does Protest Become Sedition?" So I'm going to read you a little bit of this post so that you'll know what it's all about. In Olympia, Washington, there has been some rather serious clashes between protesters and police over the last week, leading to numerous arrests, tear gas, concussion grenades, protesters assaulting journalists, and other events. In brief, as far as I can judge, and this is this poster who has written this article, this is what has happened so far. I got this summary of events from the Olympian Summary of Events. The Olympian is the local newspaper there, evidently. Olympia, Washington. On November 5th, a U.S. Navy ship arrived home from Iraq loaded with military equipment, part of the equipment of a recently returned Army unit. The point is, I think, is key that this equipment and the soldiers it supported were coming home out of Iraq. The next day, protesters, the Olympia Port Militarization Resistance Group, who are anti-war, protested peacefully in front of the ship. The day after that, November the 7th, the first arrests were made after some protesters jumped in front of departing trucks, offloading some of the military equipment in an apparent attempt to keep the equipment from moving. The 8th of November was quiet, with no military movement. The 9th, 40 protesters blocked some trucks from moving at all, and the police were caught without enough efforts to remove the protesters. Note, they were blocking traffic on a public road, which is against the law. This is what this poster says. Since they had kept 2 trucks from moving on Friday, Saturday is when it really escalated. The protesters were out in force, blocking multiple streets, and the police used pepper spray to clear a patch for the military equipment to return to its base. My commentary to this is, please watch the video that I'm going to be posting of that particular incident. It's going to be listed, it's going to be up in my favorites to see just how this event went down. The arrests started going up in numbers as well. Sunday, more clashes, and one of Olympia City's councilmen complained about how the protesters were being treated. Monday was peaceful, but Tuesday night and Wednesday basically turned into a full-fledged riot. Police windows were broken, an officer was injured, and there was plenty of tear gas, concussion grenades, rubber bullets, and so on. Please go to the video to watch the event. What are of the events, what is to make of the events, this poster writes, what are we to make of these events? Protesters have thrown garbage dumpsters and made human chains to block traffic. Pictures from the protest show several children being brought in or held, or used to stop the military convoy. And the protesters have poured concrete on the railway tracks leading to the port. What are we to make of all this? The poster asks. It's one thing to protest peacefully, but when people are deliberately trying to interfere with the movement of our military troops and supplies, isn't that crossing the line from protest to sedition? Wikipedia basically defines sedition as conduct which tends towards insurrection. It notes that peaceful protests are not included in sedition. This was not a peaceful protest, this poster says. When the military has to resort to force to move its equipment home from Iraq due to protesters, I think it's gone too far. I don't think you could defend it as supporting the troops. When does protest cross the line from being peaceful and legal to sedition or treasonous conduct? This is the poster speaking. It's rather disheartening to see the military having to use non-lethal force. Non-lethal force to just get to their own bases. And of course, behavior like this only makes anti-war protesters look bad. If the Republicans call this treason and supporting the enemy, it's hard to say that they are wrong. After all, attempting to physically prevent the movement of troops is a rather large step to take, especially when they're trying to come home. And then the poster asks, what do you think? Well, here's what I think. This is what's called civil disobedience. And the protesters had no arms whatsoever. They were peaceful, they were pepper sprayed. And so, how do you protest against a government in any other way other than an armed insurrection? And what do you think? What do you think about the founding of the Republic? How do you think that was achieved? Do you think, and this is to the poster, do you think that people on the shores were just sitting around when the British ships were arriving in the channels, waved at them and said hello? That's my response to that poster. And so, yes, I support the protests in Washington State, and I don't believe that the people over there were out of bounds at all. And from what I heard from several subscribers of mine who actually took place in those protests, these people were essentially intimidated, and you should look at channel 143 T-Bone, 143 T-Bone, and look at the testimony of what happened during that protest, some of the videos, and you can judge for yourself. Good night.